Hey guys, it's Vanity Azul back at again with another Future Card Buddy Fight deck profile. Once more, I'm back. Still trying to get back into the flow of things, but I hope you guys enjoy. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and donate to the Patreon. Let's get started. So this time, it's my Star Dragon World Drametal deck. It's upgraded with the Buddy Mart stuff. So I don't have Narrow Shield Lance, but I do have I literally have every other customization besides him. So, yeah. Let's go. So, Knight Argento Lance is my buddy, still. He has 3k power, 2k defense, critical of 2. He has the Oppress ability. If you guys don't remember what Oppress is, it's a counteract ability where during your turn, any point, final phase, main phase, battle phase, or start of the turn, whenever you want during your turn, you may pay a gauge. If you do, put into opponent's open left or right area, and then oppress it. Put the cards they used to oppress into that area, aka meaning your opponent can't use it, but the cards in the oppressed area still count towards your size, and your opponent can't place anything on them. And then what Argento does at the end of your turn, if it's in an oppressed area, you gain a gauge, you gain a life, and you draw a card. So it's good for resource gaining, and it's also just good for all around helping for the resource, especially since I never like to actually have an empty hand in any card game that I play. So yeah. Now on to our actual cards in the deck. 4 copies of our only size 0. Pawn Verde Spear, 2k power, 2k defense, critical of 1. When a Drametal on your oppressed area is destroyed, you gain a life, and you draw 1 once per turn effect. If you have 3 on your field, you draw 3 and you gain 3 life. This is useful, because if you have Seiji Kyo defense, not only does your oppressed card stay on the field when you cast it, but it still counts as destroyed, just as it remains on the field, which means you can still proc off this thing's effect. So, useful card and a really good size 0 in my opinion. Don't run any less than 4. Plus the resource gaining. Star Dragon or Blazer, size 1. This is just here for the sake of having it. I don't really have anything else, and I don't want to overpower my thing with only spells. So, plus I already feel like it's spell heavy already, so this is just here for the sake of having it. 3k power, 2k defense, critical of 2, move. You all know what that does, but it's useless. Especially in this deck, of all things. 4 copies of Giallo Mesa, card that actually matters. In fact, Blazer is literally the only card in the... Well, there are only 2 cards in this deck that are not Drametals, and he's one of them. Giallo Mesa, 2k power, 2k defense, critical of 2. He has Oppress, and if you have an oppressed area, it doesn't matter if he's in it or if anything else is in it. If you have an oppressed area at all your cards gain plus 3k power and defense. It's not for each, it's just... It's not for each, it's just for if you have an oppressed area, but if you have, like, say you had 3 Gallows on your field and you have an oppressed area, then yeah, then you proc 9k for attack and defense. 4 copies of my newest monster edition to my Drametal deck, and the only monster edition, Rock Viva La Sword. 3k power, 2k defense, critical of 2, he has oppress, and at the end of your turn, if it's in an oppressed area, destroy a card on the opponent's field. If you do, deal damage to your opponent. That's useful because if they still have something left over at the end of your turn, like say you somehow lived and they have something left, you could just go blow it up and then burn the opponent 1. So yeah, it does burn damage. Really useful. And then 4 copies of my buddy Knight Argento Lance. Y'all know what he does because I already told you at the beginning of the video. So those are our only monsters. Now you can see why I said it's over Spell Conscience. Well, now you see why I said I need more monsters. But now it's time to show you why I say spells overrun it. 4 copies of Suppression Advantage. You melee cast card, there's a Drametal on your field. Charge 3 gauge, then if you have an oppressed area, destroy a spell or item on the opponent's field. Set spell, fuck you. Item, fuck you. It's useful, and because it's a counter, it can technically be used as a null. In fact, that's how I actually saved myself once when I was playing Drametal. That was the only technical null I had in my hand, and I had 1 oppressed area, and they were charging at me with their item. I was like, fuck you, suppression advantage. Charge 3 gauge, the item's dead. So the attack whiffed. Okay, Star Jack Boost, 4 copies. This is the other card that's not a Drametal. You might cast this card if you're at 7 life or more. Charge 1 gauge, and then you draw a card. Sorry, I am distracted right now. Fuck. I just dropped my cards. But it's useful for gauge charging and hand resistant, like I said. I like having a good hand, even though it's once per turn. 4 copies of Declaration Check. You may only cast this card during technically opponent's turn, and you have a Drametal on your field. Notify the attack, then if you have an oppressed area, charge a gauge, and you draw 1 card. That's useful. It can nullify an attack on your oppressed area, and then you get more resources. It's like Star Trek Boost, but as a null, and doesn't restrict the life thing. So, beautifully perfect. If only it gave you 1 life, because then it'd be like a Dragon Emperor Legend version for Star Dragon World as a null. 4 copies of Queenside Castling. If you do not know what this does, and you play Drametals, you are the dumbest person in the world. And you don't own it either, because this thing's a common. You may only cast this card during attacking the opponent's turn, and if you have a Drametal on the field. Nullify the attack, and you gain 2 life for each oppressed area. So you can gain a max of 4, and that's useful, because then that means you can't die. Well, I mean, you can still die, it's just that you get more life, and it's harder for your opponent to take you down. 4 copies of what is literally the most overpowered spell, in my opinion, in this deck, and yet Seijikyo Defense is more important than it, only because it's Seijikyo Defense. Double Check Tactics. If I had to pick 1 card from the whole entire thing that I bought to come, I would pick this one to keep. So here's what it does. It's a set. When a Drametal monster enters your field, you may return a monster in the opponent's field to their hand, basically bouncing it. If you do, gain a life and a gauge. You get the gauge, and it's not once per turn either, so you get the gauge for a press, and you gain life points, and you get to bounce a monster that's hogging the area that you want to oppress. So yeah, screw your opponent. And then, at the end of each player's turn, deal 1 damage to your opponent for each oppressed area. If you have 2 Lost Night Narrow Lances, you know the guy who says at the end of the turn, deal your opponent 2 damage for each oppressed area. If it's in an oppressed area, you have 2 of those, that's 4 damage, plus this, that's 6 damage at the end of your turn, and then 2 more damage, so 8. And you can only set 1 on the field, but that's fine, because this thing's really fucking overpowered. Beautiful set spell. If you show me a Drametal build and you're running less than 3, I will fucking slap you. 4 copies of Seijikyo Defense, our last spell, but our best spell. Technically speaking, even though Double Check Tactics makes me want to cry. Choose one of the following 2. It's a counter. Either choose a Drametal in an oppressed area for this turn. If it would be destroyed, it remains on the field. So still counts destroyed, it just won't leave the field. And then, or you may put a Drametal monster from your drop zone into your hand, so it can help you get rid of cards with the oppressed back, or it can be used to proc off Verde Spear and prevent your opponent from killing your oppressed areas. Either way, it's a good card. Unfortunately, oh no, it's not once per turn, never mind. Oh, I've been using that card wrong my whole entire life. I'm gonna go make my friend suffer now. That's what the next vid's gonna be, me making my friend R suffer. Now onto our item. 4 copies of Grandmaster Crown. There it is. Okay, so I was kind of having debate of whether I should keep Crown or Cane and just swap them out or pick ratios on it. I was thinking about taking out the impact for it, but I decided, nah, Crown is actually better over Cane overall, and Crown's just better. Here's why. 2k power, 1 crit. They both have 1 crit, but Cane has 5k power. But here's why I love this. Pay a gauge and a life to equip. Cane does not have a cost. This card on your field cannot be destroyed by opponent's card effects. Cane only had 1 effect. This thing has fucking 3. That's 1. No, this thing has... Oh, no, yeah, it's just 3. Second, all Drametals on your field get plus 2k power and defense. So, combine with 1 Gallon Mace, 5k, 5k. If your opponent Farnesia's it, aka making it lose 5k power, you just nullified its boost. So, that gives it power. Grandmaster Cane only burnt your opponent 1 by resting it. This one has a third effect. Shoot up to 2 Drametal monsters on your field, and you may rest a card. If you do, they get double attack. Difference is, they don't have to be on oppressed areas, and this gives them more attacks. Fuck Cane. Boom! 4 copies of the item. I don't really care what ratio you run. In my opinion, Grandmaster Crown is better, but you could run Cane, or you can run both at different ratios. I really don't care. Now onto our impacts. 4 copies of End Game Study. Pay 2 gauge. Stand all Drametals on your oppressed areas, and you get another attack phase. Useful as hell, does its job, and it puts your opponent even worse or bind, because they already had double attack, so if they're somehow still alive, restand them again, attack with them singly, again, because double attack already worked, and then if they're somehow still alive, end it with double check tactics, or work Vivo Sword. Whatever, I win. So, I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and join the Patreon, and like I said before, I'm sorry for being gone for so long, but I'm back in the game. Don't forget to raise your flag. Can you pull a buddy rare card?